we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know. We're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we ain't moving nowhere, make no mistake. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass.
We love the open county of the Rupununi and the Essequibo, daytime or night. Though we may criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we need to keep it. We have that right.
We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. We are a peaceful people, struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know. We're gonna make it somehow. We will bend like a bow, but never break. Our fathers came here, and they lived and died here, and we ain't moving nowhere, make no mistake. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass.
We love the open county of the Rupununi and the Essequibo, daytime or night. Though we may criticize it, this is our home, we love it, and we need to keep it. We have that right.
don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we.
I can't believe I just laughed like that, people. On a serious note, it's quite ridiculous. So apparently, these headphones are on mute. so, what I need to do is probably catch him here after the statutory. But I was asking him in relation to, you know, I was asking him in relation to. I was asking him in relation to the AFC requesting this write-off from the I could come to them protesters just now to throw them off, but I'm talking about the write-off that was sought by allegedly by the AFC. Now we hear the mayor saying that well, we didn't hear, the mic was mute. I have to talk to him again. But we heard but the mayor, I was talking to the mayor, he was stating that he never spoke to that. It was a councillor who would have alluded to the AFC making this request, but he has no documentation of that, and he has no minutes of him saying that. Now, just to give you an idea of what's happening on the outside of City Hall here, so these are some vendors that are protesting the town clerk. Most these persons would have been moved from someplace along the city. They were not stallholders, and I am thinking that the council would have had a court order to have these people moved off of the sidewalk. So they are now here protesting the town clerk, although they were vending illegally, and the courts would have moved them, and not City Hall. They're out here to protest the town clerk. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Why can't they see must go? So yeah, it's not the court move, y'all. It's Candace move, y'all, or the court move, y'all? Is the court move, y'all? So you see, they're hiding. Say they're probably not even vendors from the market, right? The whole crew, they're hiding. So highly doubt they are actually vendors from the market, and they would have been vending illegally wherever they were, and the courts would have had them moved. So they're out here now trying to be funny. Anyway, if they had a no, alive, right? Yes. Anyway, guys, we're gonna head back up to the statutory meeting, and yeah, we're gonna leave them. If you're protesting, you don't want we see we live. Let the people know what y'all protesting about. This is a live video. Yeah, if y'all is vendors, why you hiding? If you're hiding, if you're vendors, why you hiding? But talk to me, auntie. What's your problem? Where you just vend?
You know we vendors. I just went in front of Popeyes.
Popeyes?
Yeah.
So you have a stand there?
Of course. And I just
on the side of the road?
Yeah, a barrow I just push it.
A barrow? So that's not a stand.
It's a barrow I just
So who moved you?
Candace, they told us we have to move from there.
So who? So did the people at Popeyes go to court to have y'all move?
Them going into the business people.
Yeah, well. So how does Candace from?
But then Candace,
The Candace sent y'all there?
move us now, we go to Candace.
Man, the lady's talking. You don't want nobody to see. Shut your mouth. You don't want to talk when you're hollering for. Ma'am. Popeyes move you. Popeyes move you. Popeyes move you. Y'all vending illegally. Y'all vending illegally and Popeyes go to court and move y'all. Look at this. Wait, so how it get to black people? How it get to black people? No. But the Popeyes man pay he place. It's not Popeyes man to know. Anyway, I gone, man. These people are they go. Yeah, so that's the kind of thing that you find. Force is wrong and strong. Yeah, so sorry. Yeah. Oh gosh. Travis Ellis need a brain. Travis Ellis need a brain. Can't put nothing on the table for the cemetery. Nothing. No development. The council is troubling me, sir. You didn't hear him? Okay. Anyway, guys, we're gonna go back to the main camera as we wait for.
This meeting is usually called to order. This is really constituted statutory meeting of the mayor council of the city of Georgetown. May the council lead us in prayer, followed by the clerk.
Almighty God, who in thine infinite wisdom and providential goodness has appointed ruling authorities for the welfare of society and the just government of men. We beseech thee to behold with thine abundant favor to us, thy servants, who thou be pleased to call to the performance of such important trust over this city. We acknowledge, O Lord, our dependence upon thee in all things, and our inability to execute truly the duties on which we are about to enter without thy divine assistance. Therefore, pray unto thee to endue our minds with wisdom and knowledge, and to impress our hearts with a deep sense of the fear of thy law. All which we ask in thy name. Amen.
I pledge myself to honor this God and to be loyal to my country, to be obedient to the laws of God, to love my fellow citizens, and to dedicate my energies toward the happiness and prosperity of them.
Order of the day, confirmation of minutes of the planetary. Meeting dated Monday, September 9th. Brother. Okay, sorry. Omissions, insertions, corrections, matters arriving. Page 1. Page 2. Page 3. Page 4.
The third paragraph in the bottom. Extraction comes to the soul, meaning soul. And if you go to the third line, second sentence in the third line, he said that there is a need for radical intervention that works should be
Page
4. Should be intervention. And the pen also gives line in that paragraph. Should read instead, right? And as you go to the end of the sentence, that word is inertia. INERTIA. Not immersion, inertia. Thank you.
On the same page, Mr. Mayor, I don't understand if there's a missing, the first paragraph, where you, this is not clear, I don't understand what is in the report. And I think it's you who spoke, but.
It doesn't state what's the actual issue.
Exactly, so I don't know.
It stated, the mayor stated, okay, it was raised by, what's his name? Councilor Alfonso. Maybe in the previous page, if I'm right. Let me see. No, it was,
Updates on the matter. I don't know what it is.
Councilor Jacob spoke about something, refer to paragraph 8, which it just they should have stated what he spoke about. And then I asked for clarification. Then I give clarification. So he would have asked about something in relation to merely something to do with a sourcing of something or something of the sort, and I give a clarification that it wasn't about a sourcing of anything. It was a case where I had identified someone, and then while I identified that person, the Councilor Alfonso, who was aware of that person, based on the constituency, he was tasked with suggesting who that person is and giving that information to the, what's the man name? To Mr. Gafour. So it's one of those things that should have been more highlighted or explained in the clarification that Mr. Councilor Jacobs was seeking, and for me to actually state what that clarification is, where I involve Councilor Alfonso in that discussion. So it wasn't clear, but I hope that the town clerk could revisit this explanation so that it could be clarified eventually in a further minute.
Mr.
Yeah.
Sir, if I the first sentence in this paragraph is referring to the funding. You made a statement about the funding. Then you made a reference to page 8 of the minutes. We were looking at the minutes, paragraph 5, and you asked for an update on that.
Page 8, paragraph 15.
I have paragraph 5, sir.
Paragraph 15 on I come.
Right, what you
The
said.
first paragraph on page 4.
It says page 8, paragraph 5, where you ask for an update on that item and the discussion continues.
Yeah, man. Mr. Mayor, I'm seeking clarification. If I'm reading this minute in relation to what transpired and what was chronicled in relation to the discussion, I cannot know, even if they refer to the paragraph refers to a specific issue. And I'm saying this paragraph does not say, because it reads thus. He referred to page 8, paragraph 5, and asked about the updates on the matter. No. What matter? And I'm saying it is vague. And that's one of the reasons why I asked that the recorder would have
Nobody knows what I am clarifying.
exactly.
So in the future, minute takers through the talker, ensure that at least the issue is identified and that is properly fleshed out and discussed if that clarification is given. All right, we should proceed. And I think on page 4, TC, it speaks of Lama Avenue, not Lamaha Avenue. In the same paragraph, the third paragraph, it's Lama, not Lamaha. All right, page 5. Page 6. Yeah.
They also the process. According to page 6, what paragraph, the issues with the presentation hospital that night. Last Tuesday, I
No. We're dealing with omissions, insertions, corrections, then matters arising. All right, any other? Page 7, page 6, page 7. Uh-huh.
Said that the consultant would be reporting directly to the mayor and council.
Good.
On page 7.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know again, so that's why I'm saying, if you're listening back to what I said, but this is paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Councillor Clayton, I said that if the council take an officer, it will require employment and union exposure. When applying for a consultant service is what is required. This is very unclear. And in fact, I don't speak like that. I don't speak that kind of English. And I'm saying that what is recorded, I try to make it clear and made the point about the value of having a consultant to address the issue of public relations in the council. And I said, this is unclear. I mean, I don't know. I can't put together because I refer to the advantages of having someone in the capacity as a consultant as against employing an officer who would have to have what I would call which will be under the umbrella of the town clerk to deal with issues pertaining to the mayor and city council. A consultant will have direct relationship with the councillors, mayor and city council, and we direct what needs. That is two different. I said that, and this doesn't reflect what I said.
Sir, just to be clear, so is Councillor Hines saying that
He did not say that an officer would require employment and union exposure, while a consultant is about giving service?
No.
What is the correction
Let me
exactly?
see if I make the correction. Correct said that takes an officer. It will require employment which has all kinds of requirements. If you come under the umbrella of the youth of the municipality, employment, you got union representation, you got a whole host of things that will come under. But if you take a consultant, we direct what he addresses. It's two different things. And this person that you're the employee officer, he's subjected to the rules of the council in terms of an employee. We have union involvement, and you have a host of other things that you would find in the public. So, but when you take a consultant like a contractor, we direct what they do because it's a contractual thing.
Yeah, correction. All right, we get it.
See, I guess you noted the corrections made by Councillor Hines. Page 7, page 8. Page 8. Yes, Councillor Jacobs.
Mayor Councilor's office. The sixth paragraph from the bottom, page 8, sorry. Councilor Troy Gary said that he thought the monitors would be placed at, I think that should be border near the police office.
Which page you had? Which where you say? Which part?
The sixth paragraph from the bottom.
And that's separate.
Yeah, that should be border.
Okay. Page 8.
Same 8, sir.
Yes.
Just before you come up, it's the same paragraph, but the first line, it is 2. This gentleman named Commander McBee. The commander in Division A, his name is Mr. McBee, and not Mr. B. Mr.
B. All right. On that same page, at the top where I was having my remarks, on the first 1, 2, 3, the fourth line or the fifth line from the top, it turned out it was not true when he checked the records, but the decision concerning institution rates, whatever decision was taken at the previous council, are. Who's this now? Somebody send this? Who? Who in here? What are they saying? When? Waiting? I make contact with her. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Previous are of a perpetual succession, and it has to be. Can be discredited. I think it had to be discounted. It can't discredited is the opposite of what I'm actually saying. So if the word has to be, I would safely say it has to be part to be discounted from there or something. Well, maybe check back what I've actually said here, TC, because the first part and with this ending part kind of contradicting what I'm actually saying. Yeah, there is also. Okay, in that same remarks, the line is 1, 2, 3. The fourth line from the bottom of the remarks talk about support for such investments, there is also need for support for the council market. Also support. It's also need for support for the council's market. I think that needs to be added. Um, okay. Page 8, page 9, page 10.
Page 9, sir.
Well, do quick, do quick.
Mr. Mayor, when I read these things, I gotta weird. But I remember the discussion. And I saw what they recorded here in this paragraph that you said. You see complaints about the vending next door. What the point I'm making, sir, is that you complained about officers and staff, or in this case, identifying persons who make kind of report to them about infractions being committed by council. That is what I remember in this discussion. And you were asking the Secretary of Town Clerk to make an intervention in relation to see that, have an engagement with staff to engage with these matters, so that they can prevent these things from occurring. For example, sir, we were discussing where staff, the council make a decision that action should be taken against a citizen who has committed a violation. When the officers go, they tell the people who council said that. That's what we were discussing. Yeah. And you were asking for the intervention of the town clerk because of the dangers that are involved in persons doing things like that. But how it is recorded here doesn't say that.
All right. TC, you understood?
Yes, sir. But can you say exactly what am I changing?
Well, I'm not. I hear him, but which paragraph you were dealing with? The last one.
1, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs at the bottom.
The mayor said he reached out to Mr. Rollins. Quote on the bottom. Quote on the bottom of page 9.
Page 9, yes, sir.
It's the paragraph just before responses.
Just before the responses.
Oh. You see complaint. And oh. Different interaction. Some sources. It covers a number of things. We just left out a few words. Maybe you should relook at the recording, TC, to see how you could rephrase it. But it had a punchline, or it had also had how I framed it, then also led to that punchline. But I'm not seeing it. I ain't able to go back through that. Maybe you should have your record and look at it. I ain't got the patience to treat with it today. But it's an issue where what I was trying to say is that when matters are reported either by citizens, either by officers, or either by councillors, the officers who go in and treat with these matters should not tell the people, whoever is it, that this councillor reported you, or the neighbor next door there reported you, or this officer, so that you protect the integrity of those different persons, and that they are operating on behalf of the council to do a job. So they can't go and pell down the whole City Hall building, or pell down one of our buildings, or if they want, in this case, if you're dealing with this specific person, they're going to direct or target those persons to cause a problem. We don't want that kind of situation. We want a situation where the whole council, standing as one, really and truly want this issue sorted out. All right, without a face. So we don't want the people themselves who are going to be either prosecuted or whatever, must be able to put a face to a councillor, officer, or a citizen who bring this matter into being. All right. Page 9, page 10.
Page 10.
Wait, like you've been reading the whole night and day?
I read this thoroughly. Really read it.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry.
You know, Mr. Mayor, that's before I find out the observation I made.
You could have done ask the thing, you know. Let's move on.
There's a word there in the third paragraph on the penultimate line
Yeah.
of the third paragraph.
Uh-huh.
Dedicate. I don't think it's dedicate. When you said you noted that you would dedicate work to something.
He noted that he would also dedicate work to the song park. No, not delegate.
But I don't know.
Yeah, delegate.
Sorry for reading too much.
But you could dedicate or delegate, you know.
Dedicate?
You could dedicate, meaning pass on. And delegate also means pass on. But delegate is a more appropriate word. Yeah. 11, 12, 13. Yes. Which one? 12, yeah.
The fourth paragraph at the bottom.
1, 2, yes.
My comment is that it is the key.
He had an issue with the first recommendation. One person.
The reason of the empty lot to the back. I stated that if we're heading to leasing, it should be to the highest bidder. So it's not recorded here. I'd just like for that to be recorded.
Sure, no problem. Yeah, that's what it. Page 13. Page 14. Page 15. 16. 17. Can I have a mover? Councillor Mason, seconded by. Who's this Councillor? Councillor David. I don't need to see where is the other David, but. All right, matters arising on any page quickly, so you could move on. If you have any matters arising, just get up and. Oh yes.
No, let Mr. Ford move for it.
Fourth? Oh yes, fourth. Yes.
Mr. Mayor, Councilor Martin, I rise to raise a matter on page 6. Then it's 1, 2, 3, 4th paragraph. So there's a matter dealing with the top. The matter dealing with the infestation of mosquitoes and I was met with the officer last Tuesday. And basically, she carried out some sort of investigation and she mentioned that it's a matter where the engineer department has to get involved. So I advise to ask.
Oh, you mean that few building is a Malibu?
No, infestation of
Mosquito, okay. But you also raised a matter too, and I saw you sent some pictures in the group, right?
Yes.
Okay. I want you to talk about the matter too.
The individual continues.
Oh.
The individual continued to extend bill in the attic. Nothing has changed. The engineering department.
But I will ask the engineer to deal with that in a minute. But tell us about the mosquito.
The mosquitoes, as I said, I would mention to you that the officer, Ms. Allen, would have carried out some investigation. He would have said that the engineer department needs to get involved. So I would like to know what's the status that's for.
The engineer department can get involved for the mosquito.
Yes, it seems to be a blockage of a drainage. Seems I'm saying
the blockage will cause any water to be stagnant.
Correct.
Okay. Through you, TC. Let us speak with Mr. Boston. Who? Retired, left. He's the drainage man in the first place.
That's why it's blocked.
Boston, you know this matter where there's some a buildup of mosquito because of a blockage of an area in somewhere in North Belt.
So this matter was not reported to me, sir. I will collect the information.
Who's the doc? The doctor's here, but the other person who's acting for the doctor, is she here?
No, sir.
The
Dr.
doctor.
Reynolds is back. So
So doctor, but doctor know of where this place is? Doctor's here? The doctor's here. No. We want to the deputy of her. So I'll get to this, just. I'm not sure if the person beneath you would have reported a matter of some must.
Good afternoon, all protocols observed. The officer reported to me this morning saying that in her handover, because she's acting for the chief environmental health officer, she would indicate that they write a referral to the engineers. The referral has not been formally sent as yet. So that's why Mr. Boston can't say much.
Right, but at least she know where the location is.
Yes.
When that report is handed to you, I presume you are to send it to the engineer or whatever. But I'm sure the town clerk is aware as well. Get them to deal with this issue. Let Mr. Boston know exactly where. He can send a team to allow for that place to be for the water to keep going where it has to go, and if you got to send a machine to treat with it and whatever else. So ensure that happens. Like since it's now with you, see if we can have this could be acted on almost immediately. All right. Good. Yeah.
I'm very happy for your intervention. Why is not to get this on time? Last Tuesday, I guess you were persons are getting children with fever and headaches. We came last Tuesday and today. Today comes 7:30. That was
But let's change one officer to another. You can't tell. No. Had that other officer been here, I would have dealt with it differently. But what has happened in this particular case is that she handed over whatever. She will then, I know Dr. Reynolds is very proactive. She will act on the issue. She will get that person to address that matter. And I'm sure between now and tomorrow or so, Mr. Boston and the team will be able to move down. I will stay on top of this one. Boston, keep abreast with me and the town clerk on this matter so that we could get this place clear. I don't want to hear next to Council Ford coming back here about this matter. All right. So that's number one. Talk to us about the issue with the alleyway.
The issue with the alleyway continues. The individual in the barbershop alleyway continues.
Barbershop.
The barbershop and whoever is in that door. Nobody can do it. It seems to be right.
What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
An officer would have visited there over 3 weeks ago.
Which officer visited? Bancroft?
Bancroft. Over 3 weeks ago. And today,
all right.
nothing's happening.
Fine. All right. Here's what we can do. We can come back to that issue. TC, I don't know if we could ask Mr. Boston to contact Mr. Bancroft while we're in this meeting to find out exactly what's happening with this alleyway in where? North Rockville.
It's an alleyway.
Just off. Yeah.
It's an alleyway that is in Festival City.
Just off of the
Just between Blue Mountain Road.
And but Bancroft being there.
Was there?
Fine. So fine. So Mr. Bancroft is there. We'll get a report from Mr. Boston during the course of this meeting. Yeah.
I just want to remind you.
Yes.
The matter was raised at last time. He became the city engineer.
But he's not here.
To him have knowledge of this matter.
He was saying, I can't be with somebody in there here. I talking to Boston now to get to the bottom of this. They said somebody visited. I want to know what's going on. I want to know, and this council wants to know what kind of action has been taken. Let me get the information from the technical people before we point fingers to anyone. I am not the kind of person who point fingers unless I have absolute information and facts.
Right. I can't say engineer. I didn't know
one person managing it. Everybody that was in the box. Everyone was here when the box was raised, including Boston. In Boston.
But he's calling him out now. Calling him out now. Let me move on and then we'll get into a report. All right, quickly, Councillor Young.
Mr. Mayor, I heard my fellow councillors saying, what the person that Kwame Makai said, but it was before to the council that Councillor Ford is promising somebody to put a butcher shop right there. I don't know.
Well, the extent to which people will operate. I get you. No. Don't leave it on there. No. Please, there's a certain, fine, there's certain words that were mentioned, just please expunge that from the records of the council. Council.
He has to withdraw.
No.
So he don't have.
He withdraw or not, I've asked that it be removed. I've just ruled that it be removed. All right, go ahead. Yes.
I know that at the last council meeting, we had a discussion on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Page 4.
Page which one yet? 4?
Yeah, the third paragraph, where we were addressing the issue of the cemetery. And
go ahead. Let's have one meeting, man. Good. Yes. Please continue.
I want to know what progress was made. I know you give some instructions, and if this council can be briefed on what progress was made. My concern is that we are elected by councillors, the citizens. When instructions are given, we expect those instructions to be carried out. The administration worked at our behest, not the other way around. We were elected, we were given a mandate by people. We had a situation in the ground there where we could not have buried people. Councillors right here said that people were buried on top of other people. Work was done, and lo and behold, people still continue. They cannot access the ground. People have to go to Bel Air. Reportedly, they are paying $250,000 for a burial spot. When we have now, and we sell burial spot for $22,000, it is known that we did work and spots are available in the ground. I want to know what's going on. What's the steps that we're taking to ensure that Mr. Cargill is paid? Mr. Cargill did not execute those work on his own. A request was made. I understand the procedure, there might be procedural errors. But we have to pay Mr. Cargill.
Mr. Cargill wasn't paid?
Right?
TC going to tell us if he was paid.
He must be paid for all of the work.
We come into that in a minute. TC, tell us bring us up to date as to Mr. Cargill and his claim.
Sir, Mr. Cargill was paid the outstanding balance on the initial contract.
Right.
However, he has not been paid any monies for variation as yet.
Understand.
Because, sir, while we started our process, we're also in a financial jam. Sir, we do not even have enough money to pay salaries at this time.
This is not, but this is not new. Madam Chase Green could tell you that. But it's new to you. At this time of the year, there's always be one of our toughest times. And this is one of the reasons, why we find innovative ways around this period between September, October, or whatever, or August, September, October, and by November, people start bringing their accounts back to normal for the period. So this is usually a period where we have it's a bit tough. So this is not news to my ears, at least not to other councils that is be here. So we gotta find ways. Go ahead, TC.
Yes, sir. Until we have enough funds where
Fine.
we can make those payments,
Well,
sir.
but in the meantime, TC, I think what we did agree to is that he get his whatever it is. Then we have to quantify the work because we agree that we have to look at the quantifiable thing of the work, which I think I asked. We or the council did ask for Mr. Boston and the team to be able to deal with that. We hope that that is sorted out. So when that is sorted out between himself and yourself, and we have the total work that was done outside of what was done, I think we also suggested that there must be there could be a part for variation, there's a part for a new contract, which we also need to figure out what else there was done and could be done to our satisfaction, and then we deal with that issue. So I don't know that there's any question as to where we at in relation to this matter. I don't know if Mr. Engineer Boston could shed some light on this for you. Mr. Boston, just now, Councillor Jacobs.
No problem.
Mr. Mayor, councillors,
Yes, go ahead.
the contractor did additional work.
What are you going on here, man? Oh, this thing knocking on. Put a bag nearby, you know, because it's the bag knocking on the thing, you know. Yes, yeah. You got a lot of cheese inside. Go ahead, Mr. Boston. Uh-huh.
The contractor did do additional work.
Right.
Cleared a spot to drain off some water off another section.
Mm-hmm.
He also did some additional one that we will quantify
Right.
During the course of this week. But that variation will be processed differently.
And then the other additional thing, you have to value the job. Very well. Thanks, Mr. Boston. Mr. Councillor J.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Well, I have a number of questions to ask regarding matters arising. Just to touch on what comes to
Any particular page you have in mind, or you just have a number of different?
Last issue with the contract and the variation. I don't think that we can justify the actions of the contractor in terms of going to do extra work, especially the $1.5 million. I don't think that you can justify that. We did in the last council meeting said that there would have been a contract put together for the $300,000. I think that is yet to be done.
But not no, 300,000 will be a variation and will be a new contract for any additional work.
So I'm saying that the contractor, the engineer at that time, and also the contractor, from what the town clerk mentioned, what she said in the last meeting, is that a letter was sent the same day that we had the $300,000 variation for the contractor to assist in doing any additional works. So I think this I'm also saying that you set a strong. I'm saying that this will set a precedent. This will set a precedent for contractors going forward. It will tell any contractor that they can go ahead and do works once they have a support of any particular councillor. They can go ahead and do works and be paid. So we're setting a precedent. We still have a process and procedure that needs to be followed. We still have a 2801 that we're governed by, and we should follow it. That's my opinion on that. And again, I'm strongly against persons doing the wrong things here at council and trying to get away. And also, councillors being hypocritical on matters that they so often stress on that should be followed, that the right process should be followed. Protocols, exactly. Additionally, Mr. Mayor, and just permit me to basically ask all the questions because I don't want to be. Do quick. So I'll just like an update because in the minutes we did spoke about bringing forth parties, monies owned by different political parties, and also one person in question, Maywa, because we have seen a number of things circling in the media. I'll just like an update on this. If you get this information, I'll greatly appreciate that. Also, we have a pending issue with the glitching system. We did mention a number of times, meeting after meetings, that GT&T is willing to help. I'm not seeing this actually, coming to any fruition. We're just meetings, or we're going to. So I like an update on that also too. And it's in the minutes. Also, an update on the visit to border to see where we'll put the three-sided screen. I think you had mentioned Mr. Mark. Yeah. Mr. McQueen, thank you. And also, one other thing. Oh, that's it for me.
Good. Thank you. Councillor Hines, quickly, and then I will sum up.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm a little disturbed for the rationale or being established by my colleague because he was part of these discussions. Mr. Mayor, what has occurred in relation to that matter, the very wrong, is a process hiccup. Let me say what I mean by it. There's a process hiccup. Hiccup because this council was faced over the years with a problem of space for everyone. Over the years, it so happened that the committee engaged each other members of the committee and other councillors with an engineer from the engineer department, ventured to see that there were places that they could have cleared, but it was in dense vegetation. It had to be cleared so that they can facilitate burial. A decision was made because we don't have space. Now here's a case where, as far as I heard, that's why I said it's a process hiccup. They moved to the point where they said, look, we should go out and get some contractors. I understand they find about 4 or 5. And the committee. They had 4 or 5 people who get them a quotation, which was astronomical. Let me just go to where one person get
Listen. Don't allow Councillor Jacobs to bother you. When Mr. Councillor Jacobs was speaking, I gave him clear path to speak. So listen, don't let him disturb. You speak to me.
I just want to remind
Could you please speak to me, sir?
When I sit around this table,
you allow yourself to be disturbed. Please speak to me and continue.
I have never been found guilty of taurological inexactitude.
All right.
So when he made those kind of allegations, it is just for what he is, his mindset. I can prove that I'm right.
Councillor Jacobs, thank you. Councillor Jacobs, thanks.
When we made this kind of decision, the decision was made for X work of 1 point. This man went ahead at a very low rate and go ahead and do this work. That's why we reported to this council. The contract which he signed was for 1.2. Now I'm saying to you, sir, in the execution of that exercise, they discovered that there was more space which could have been acquired. The engineer collaborated with the committee and recognized that they did additional work. Now all that needed to happen was for the engineer to collaborate with the chief engineer to say, look, this work is in view. We're ready to exhaust the amount. And that is all what was required. This is just a government mandate work, and there is more to be done so we can have more space. I don't understand what comes the day of following this thing that we could get. It's a process hiccup that is occurred here.
Councillor Fraser. Let's understand, man.
Mr. Baker, sir. Mr. Mayor. Yeah, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, I believe that we were in trouble as it relates to our government. We had no space. We were on social media. And we saved the day with an engineer who we saw fit enough to go in there and get work done first. I understand also, sir, that through that process, we had persons who bid it, and we had the person who bid the lowest to carry out that project. I also understand, sir, that this comes supposed to be a place that conducts business. And if you get a good deal on this portion, and you realize that you can get another portion done now, it is opportune for you to want to grab it in. It might not be the right process they use at the time in question, but what was available to you then? The man moved his machine, and then you will have to pay a cost if the price goes up. We are already in problem in that case. And so I would want to put Mr. Mayor to this council that the gentleman be paid all of his money. The variation and the
But listen, I don't think there's a question. The job is the question. The question is what the engineer has to do to quantify what was done. So it's not an issue of the non-payment of the guy. That's not up for discussion. All right. So that's non-negotiable.
okay, Mr.
Well,
Mayor also,
yeah.
since that the space in the drum is made available, I'm hearing that people still going and having to pay 200 and something $1,000 to bury the dead. Why is this space not made available to this date? It's available more than 2 or 3 weeks ago. We spend money to make that place available. Why is it not activated as yet?
Okay. I got you. All right. I thought I saw you. Oh, you okay?
So I think it was a total disrespect to the council. While I agree that the need is important for burial in the cemetery, nothing was wrong if those on the ground saw the need for an extension, to call for an emergency meeting to be held, or to do a round robin to have the agreement of the entire council to do it. We're just hearing from the town clerk, we don't have one. From a 1.2, and I questioned it in the group when somewhere around, I asked about that 1.2, if that would be final figure. Because I know how it operates here, I know how people operate in this council. And it's turned out to be now 1.2 to 3 million. The question will arise, where will we get the other 1.5 from? No, the town clerk has just said to us, we don't have enough money to decide. Where will we get, do we have money to pay garbage contractors? Because if you are going to see a focus garbage contractors, yes, it is. You'll see the increase in garbage prices. From school time goes into Christmas, and we will know it. If we can't pay salaries, like that just come downstairs, protesting workers just so we can do anything of these units, and we got a financial problem. I don't know if there's any way on the budget that the $3 million or more than $3 million was budgeted for other expenses of works. But if could be a transfer from any other department to fulfill the lapse that we're finding now. Because I know, but I don't see it happening now, and I've never raised it. We normally have transfer from one head to the other to pay off. If this head didn't use up all of its money, it can be transferred to another head. I don't see it happening now, and because of how the council at this point don't have money, I think the treasurer tried to juggle because he's the person who has to deal with the finances. But yeah, a man who works with from the city engineer or from the town clerk, my understanding that wasn't done. if it's now the council is agreeing that, look, this happened, we must pay for it. It is a precedent that we will be setting that will allow councillors who think they got the authority to go on the ground and instruct people to do work. It is a bad precedent. It is a bad precedent also.
I don't know that. I don't know that the councillor went.
Just allow me.
No. I want to speak again. I don't know that any councillor went to the ground and made such a decision. The councillors or those councillors that were treating on those matters were guided by an engineer, the project engineer at the time, who would have been part of the process of identifying this place and coming up with them. And we also have to take cognizance of the fact that we didn't have any burial grounds, we didn't have space, or there was claim that we had space and that we had shut down this place. The council were innovative enough to be proactive in dealing with these issues, to identify wherever we formulated those things backed up by the engineers, and we were able to come up with this particular contract. The particular contractor in doing this job.
Handpicked contractor.
No, in doing this job, man, nothing is being handpicked. Government is self-nationally, just do selective tendering of things and nobody doesn't question anything. So it's not even go down the road.
We could go down any road we want.
Go down the road.
We could go down any road you want.
That's how I'm saying.
Any road
we talking about $300,000, forget how much burial space available so that at least we could bury people in the city, and you telling us about worrying about this and all of that. If it was some $1.5 million US, I could understand. We got a little dookie money for do something. Be wrong about that. Central government with all them billions and billions of dollars that they can't account for. Don't let me deal with this. We have a situation. We have a situation where when the contractor went in there, they were able to realize there's needed, you gotta do this in order to get past this. And that while they were there, if you had to carry out the machine and bring it back or carry out to do whatever, based on the engineer's assessment, they were able to push down more areas to allow for whatever. We now have to accommodate for that kind of situation from the get-go. When this how much $2 million was proffered, I said this money was too little bit in the first place. We really and truly bubble on this thing. Yes, the man went in, he do a thing. The moment he carry the machine, 1.2 supposed to done. It's a case where it's sorted out. We also were proactive enough based on the engineer's recommendation that so must be done. It was eventually put in place to accommodate for enough burial lands and for us to deal with this. We have that in place. We know there's a 300,000 original bridge and there's an additional work that we're push to allow for that kind of situation to happen. I'm seeing it as a proactive decision. Alright? It's a proactive decision regardless of what it was the engineer who recommended that. The engineer with the Hollinsford. Alright? No. The city engineer people leave. Boston, but the acting city engineer, and information was sent to him. He did not approve anything of that. The information was sent to him. All right? It might not have been sent to the top, but it was sent to the engineer. No problem. So what we want to happen here, I'm sure, based on this situation, you have additional burial space. What we need to do now is, and I said it before, the engineer gotta go and quantify the additional work that was put in place in the best interest of the city. We will have that situation put in place, and what we will need to do now is advertise on our Facebook page or publicly what else we put in place to have more burial spaces available. That is what we need to do to let the public at large know. That is what that position is. In relation to the quantifying of the information, Mr. Boston will do that. The variation aspect was also achieved. The other aspect of quantifying that is put in place and we deal with it. We talking about to clear up 300 over spaces for burial, for Amigo, some of whatever, we'll deal with that. All right? We will deal with that. All right, so through you, the town clerk, I think Mr. Boston has a task available to him to be able to quantify this thing so we can move forward. No, you are telling him to rubber stamp. Robert. He was aware through the. You are telling him to rubber stamp. He was aware before Mr. Boston go off on leave. He hadn't got report. Mr. Mayor, no, I did not recognize. Sorry, I did not recognize. Yeah. But and that is pictorial, man. It's rubbish. It's rubbish. You can't direct him. I am not. Let him go and do a quantitative report. What direct him to do it? What let him do his work? Do not tell him what you have to do. You don't tell him he has to approve it. Did I tell him you have to approve it, or did I say to him that you have to quantify? Suppose he come back and say 1.2. I said he has to quantify it. It's his job to do that. I never tell him what to quantify that. I said he must quantify it. That is the position of this of this council. Let's move on. They are already buried on the road. All right, let's move. They buried on the road already. No other matters for no, I need to answer some questions posed by Councilor Jacobs, right? You mentioned a few things that you wanted me to address. In relation to the issue with Mr. McBean, I reached out to Mr. McBean. I also visited the car park and with a number of other city parking people who would have been affected by these let's call it cameras when put up the bases at the suburb. I also spoke to him about the border. We should have gone there on Thursday, but I think we had I had to come to a meeting here. And then that meeting canceled, so I don't cancel with him. So obviously maybe by tomorrow we'll probably go to the border marketplace to see this location. He's in agreement that maybe yes we should look at it differently, but I said let's go on the ground because I didn't want to also take him on the ground at border. I want to take him on the ground at Starbuck Market. I think you spoke about the glitches. I've been in touch with the telecommunication people on this matter who's willing to look at our software. You see, they're also having some other things they want to discuss with us. So I think I'm supposed to meet with them and then I'll coordinate that meeting with the I think that TC will do a finance committee meeting with that. They can either come here back to us or we can go to them, whichever one. With the GT people.
Sir, I would suggest that they probably come and do a demonstration to the
Right here. Okay, so I'll coordinate that thing to deal with the demonstration with the GT, with how we sorting out our little issues, but they said they have a solution for us. All right. So I will meet with them. I'll try and meet with them tomorrow, and then I will give you a date exactly when we're going to meet, and we'll, as much as councils as possible to come to that demonstration that we'll have here. Now, in relation to the other matter, I heard Councillor Jacob spoke about the mic walk. The mic walk, must make sure you pronounce it well. You mentioned the name, but you didn't say the right name. But I'm very happy that you know the pronunciation. I want correctly. So I want correctly. I want to make sure everybody knows that they are not here for anybody. I keep saying this over and over, and I said it in the minutes, that there's no account in the People National Commerce Reform that shows or records an amount of that sum. That is going to be done. We now also need to have meetings not only about that issue, but also many of the other high-end accounts that we have that owe this council significant amounts either from government. I was able to do some research. I was able to do some research. I did some research recently on some government Ghana accounts. I have one account here, says one of them owes 8,777,000,000. That's one. That's, I only pulled four, I only pulled four accounts. Another one got here, another one up here, $7,049,000,000. Another one has 2.167 billion dollars. All right, and there's another one here, which I did indicate, and I spoke about here and raised at the Central Housing and Planning Authority. I want y'all to hear this, please. I raised this in a minute, somewhere along the line here when I was at Central Housing in relation to outline planning permission for the Cosmos place. At the time when I would have resourced that issue, they had owed $890 something million dollars. I said to the people at Central Housing at the time, this place is not a sports place. This place is a place that has a mixed use of bar and all kind of other issue. And they've always had that. And they had owed a significant sum to this council. They applied to the Central Housing and Planning for outlining planning permission. I objected to the issue. I said that if they're going to apply for outline planning permission, they must also reach out to the council and say, what is the people outstanding indebtedness to the council? They're saying that's not part of the criteria to approve the outline planning permission, which gives them the permission to proceed to public health and other places. I'm pretty sure I want the public health, or in this case the doctor, to be aware of this, because I was insurance chair that minutes I had for the housing as well as the minutes that I had here on this matter to speak to this issue. For many reasons, that you can't be getting licensed to be able to do certain other things if you have an indebtedness to this council. So that is a big issue. They're over $1 billion as well outstanding to us. So I'm saying I pull 3 accounts here.
You pull 3 accounts. You gotta get his names in the accounts.
Man,
you gotta get name the accounts. Name the accounts. Name the accounts.
The accounts will, these accounts, along with every other account,
no, name the accounts.
Will be brought to the finance committee, because we'll be looking at those committees, taking all these matters, all them $1 billion people that owe me, we bring it to the thing, and then we'll determine what we will do with them, how we'll be able to resolve them, how we'll be able to determine what some may have to be reclassified, because I believe we should also have a governmental rate. Likewise, I believe we should have
no, we ain't got no more rate. We got to
have an institutional, not institutional, an industrial rate as well. These are things that we have to look at, but we'll ask for a special every month. We'll have a special committee so that we can be able to answer all these portions, and then we'll determine if what we got with the court with, what we have to do this with, and who we have to deal with. So the fact of the matter is, he asks about a certain issue. I also answer that issue in relation to that. And then I don't say what I got to say. All right. So we'll deal with that. All right. So that's where we are in relation to that. We will TC. I'm not sure how we'll be able to treat this. I'm not finance chairman. We need to address this issue in relation to these heavy indebtedness to us. Because you're hearing us now that we have money for pay people. Well, we can find money from all these $1 billion people that do it. There's only 4 accounts. With is 20 million. And this is only 4. There's only 4. 4. You want me to start? You want me to now? Man, other people tell me they want me to stay. I don't want to go down the road like Uncle BJ calling people name. I ain't going down the road like Uncle BJ calling people name. Alright, well I ain't over the part. No, me calling name. It will go to the committee, The committee can bring it to the full council, and the full council will call it in. No, 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 no. Yeah, one Alfred man, don't call the name. No, 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 not at all. Not at all. But let us move on. Yeah, all right. There we go. No other, no other matters for no matters. No matters for any other for matters arising. You have a matter there? Yes. It gotta be out to the minister, because if not, I ain't not gonna entertain it. If not in a minute, we'll bring it up any other business. Well, go ahead quickly.
It's about the manholes.
Oh, okay, okay. Man, yeah, man got holes. We know that. Go ahead, go ahead. Listen. I recognize Council Alfonso, please.
All right.
With the correction.
The last meeting, it was
Done with correction. Done with correction. Yeah.
the last meeting, the matter of the manhole was raised, and I asked about the cost. It's $30,000
Uh-huh.
per manhole for 300 manholes. And I asked whether that $30,000 included the cost of manufacturing and the cost of branding. And I was told that it included the cost of manufacturing and cost of
Right.
Okay, so have we done anything since then to approach the business community to propose to them the branding, the
What I could say to you, Councillor Alfonso, on this matter, yes, it's raised. I know the particular engineer who is treating with the matter. How long more he on leave for?
Sorry, really one more week.
One more week. Right. So TC, what we're gonna do with this manhole matter, since it was raised, we know the cost of this and that, and I want to, for my good councillor here's knowledge, this matter was discussed with the people, city for forests and all of that.
Right, it's in the minute.
Right. They have made certain contacts. One of the things we didn't want to do is to have one specific or two or three persons who has the capacity to spend the money to do it. We wanted to have it in different areas, different constituency, different businesses be part of it, so that they can have a greater buy-in to the arrangement, so that whenever it's done with businesses within the area, they will help to protect it and to ensure that people don't pull it out or take it out or damage it or something of the sort. So I believe now with all of this in place, I think we need to have this as an agenda item, TC, because it's really one of a finance nature now as to how we will treat with it. So we'll bring this as an agenda item for finance. We'll decide who we will approach outside of the people that the city for forest people have already contacted, and we will start it up. But I would want Mr. Hollingsworth to be part of that meeting because he's the one who has been leading it and treating with it. So whatever questions you'll have, then you'll bring it to that, so we could move this thing forward. Go ahead.
One more question.
Yes, go ahead.
It's not very clear to me then what the role of the city for forest people is. Are they just going to be reaching out on our behalf? Are they
No, they have no. What they have done, they have brokered an arrangement between us and the Forestry Commission, as well as the people who. There's a company that is part of. I don't have all the details, like I said. There's a company that is part of that they have reached out to with forestry and some other persons to preserve these pieces of wood so that they don't just throw away in the wayside or make holes with or something. So they have that particular guarantee in place. I can't remember the name of the company, but they will be part of the process of dealing with that. Plus, they also have persons who will be sponsoring certain aspects of whatever. So it's a case where that kind of information will be fleshed out in that meeting. We'll also know how much manholes we're talking about. So we'll be able to figure out the total cost of that process. Allow for different business within the various areas to be approached to sponsor maybe how much, whatever they want to sponsor. And then whatever the biggest amount, one of the biggest sponsors will sponsor that. And we will be able to move this process forward. And then we'll have the manholes started within the city. So it's one that we're trying to do with consultation, collaboration, and buy-in from the various businesses within the area. I guess that will be fleshed out more in that meeting rather than this meeting itself. All right. All right. So I should proceed. There being no other matters arising, we shall move to the opening remarks. All right. So let me just there's a couple of matters I gotta raise quickly. No, me got no long. I don't have to, y'all make I bring out certain things earlier, so me got talk about today. Thanks, counselors. Thanks. The issue, maybe I'll raise this under the PR decision, but I can raise it now. TC, I know we talk about the decision of having a consultant for the or PR, I should say, or PR of the council. I know we've decided that we will treat with this issue. I guess you weren't able to put together the scope, or you have the scope from the previous PR consultant that we had before.
Sir, I believe when we discussed this matter, we said that we would have it discussed at the HR committee.
No, but I don't want to have to be making representation on behalf of the council a whole lot. I think I getting tired of this, having to respond to this and respond to that. I think I want to get this matter out of the way so that we kind our response through a particular consultant, so that we could be able to get the business of this council in. Every ministry, every other place have consultants or have persons treating with their matters. I don't want to be, or I think somehow or the other, Saul have to represent, or even the councils are making statements that I have to clarify. That has to be done by someone within the organization, not mentor. So I say to you, TC, based on this, that I know we said it got to go to the human resource and whatever. I would like this matter to be actioned pretty quickly, and for us to, I know that it's supposed to go to the human resource at some point, or to be treated with at some point, but we need to at least make an offer to treat for person to deal with this based on some kind of scope. So I don't know if you could. There's a human resource meeting anytime this week, or even you have it could be a human resource finance tender, something, so that we could treat with what we want to send out. So that between now and the next statutory, we should be able to have something in place. So I'm thinking of a way in which we could accelerate this. I don't know if other councils have any idea. Yeah.
I'm hearing you, sir. But in relation to this matter that we discussed and agreed, I think the best approach in relation to addressing this issue is that the contract will outline the parameters, the scope of and function of this person in relation to the mission of this organization, what is required. When that is done, because remember, you are contracting out the public relation work. So we can only move when that is done, then you advertise. You put in the public domain, you are interested to really take on it.
So should the scope, well, that's what I'm saying. We need to advertise saying we want to treat with it. You said something else, huh? You want us to add to this?
We have to, it was established the last time why we need a PR consultant. PR consultant is answerable to the mayor and council. And therefore, that is where the scope was confirmed.
All right. Thomas, okay. I hear you. All right, so what? No. The council was give direction to this place, not the administration. Being doing back to front.
Anybody who's contracted by this council.
What? Show me the law, ma'am. Madam, show me the law. No, you show me the law. You say you know the law. You just talk about law. Show me the law. If you can justify what you're saying, show me the law. If you justify what you're saying, you show me the law. You know what? The people of this city, the shareholders and stakeholders of this city, elected a council to be the directors of the city. The directors of the city then decides how they deal with the administration or treat with matters. So the powers of the powers of the council is vested in the councillors of the city of Gloucester.
Winning every single case.
I don't know what you're talking about. The councillors, I asked the town clerk to share some advice. What is clear?
Positions and people.
Listen. Madam. But listen. When I'm speaking, you either ask my permission to speak, and if you're gonna continue in this vein, sitting at your seat and contradicting what I'm saying, we can have a challenge. Madam, we can have a challenge.
Give me a break.
Okay? Good.
Well, come and remove me if you want to remove me. You can. Let that food come there.
I see they got food on the way though.
Better.
Yeah, but anyway. Huh? Good. Okay. Mason asked me for tone a little bit. Councillor Jacobs, quickly, yes. Yeah. Listen. Let me hear Jacobs quickly.
Yeah, I did hear Councillor Saul mentioning that the consultant will be answerable to the mayor and also.
No, not to the mayor, to the councils, mayor and councillors.
Can you allow me to finish?
He said
it goes mayor and council.
Mayor and councillors.
Right, so you didn't allow me to finish.
Oh.
So the mayor and councillors.
Yes.
So what happens when we have different opinions? Who decides what goes out? Because if it's the mayor and councillors, it has to be passed by the mayor and councillors.
Yes.
How will?
Yeah.
So you're saying that if we have an emergency issue, for instance, the Stabrook market has collapsed. It's an emergency. We need our PR consultant to go down there to basically say what happened. We know the place was condemned. You want that to get out to the media. How do you then decide on that? Who makes the decision?
Listen, if we,
I'm saying because if you have,
I hearing you in relation to whether as situation arise, it will be dealt with. In relation to what you were saying, it appears like you're gonna go through a whole set of mills.
So
in relation to dealing with matters, a PR consultant will have a mandate to be able to do certain things. They will also send it maybe to a committee who will give because a PR committee will be formed to deal with that. So the PR committee will be able to sanction what is out and what is in. I mean, but yeah. Well,
thank you, Mr. Mayor. And you know, from recent developments in terms of we're not having the finances to support paying staff, and that is why we strongly support an officer because of what an officer can do. Being there.
No, I think we passed the stage already. We already make a decision that they can have a PR consultant. No. You could stay forever. We already make that decision already.
Thank you very much.
By a majority, we make a decision. Anyway, where are we at in this instance here, TC? We know of what was tabled before. That's right. Yeah. We know what was tabled before. We know how we end up with a PR consultant. Before, I would assume. Wait, hold on. I would assume, TC, an urgent meeting is held in relation to this matter, so that we can understand the scope of what that. You said that a human resource committee it should be brought to. But I would like you should to add other members so we could flesh out where we have to flesh out. Either the human resource, some aspects of the finance, and some aspect of the tender, so that we could discuss this matter and regularize this issue and make a decision based on the scope. So that we could, even if it's one item, or if this one item comes in among the other with that tripartite committee, I'm sure we could be able to resolve this issue so that we could move to have this item advertised. So, CC, I don't know if you could address that as early as possible. All right, good. Huh? All right, hold up.
I suggested we suspend councillors.
Oh yes, let me do that now. Yes. All right, TC, I was written to, hold up, I was written to, all right, hold up. Listen. You have one meeting here, man?
Why are you disturbing this meeting with? Go ahead.
Yeah. TC, I think, listen. This is going to be the last time anybody interrupt this meeting. If you are plotting to interrupt this meeting, I will have to ask Mr. Gafour to escort you accordingly out of this meeting. All right? Please, no, I'm going to ask for a vote. I will get a vote. You know what I'm saying? Never tell you? You did it before to PPP councillors at the time. When you were on this side. When you chase out Kupin and you chase out Sharma and ask them to be escorted out to the meeting. So don't come with it openly. Don't come with that. And I was there. I saw when you did it. All right. When you asked Kupin to come out and he was escorted out. When you asked Sharma to come out and they were escorted out. Well, listen. Sometime, you know what happened? The thing will not set you foot. And we're going to ask you to be escorted out of here. Please, understand. Good. Madam TC, we're dealing with a matter here of, we're dealing with this central housing matter. I think I should have raised this matter before. I would raise this matter before. Listen, let me stop this heckling. I raised this matter before. I think this matter was raised at some city works meeting in relation to this launching of this single window system. TC, are you aware of this? I think that it was sent by you. Good. So we have a situation here where we're talking about this launching of this particular single window system. I think they suggested that from the 2nd of September 2024, that all plans, new plans that fall within this period, gotta go to the central housing. Plans before that, we're still trying to iron out exactly what is this actual situation. They did call a meeting to treat with it in the old format this month, which was last week. We're still trying to iron out with Ms. Stewart as to how this thing is going to really work and what kind of system must be put in place. They did ask for us to identify 2 persons, or they said a focal point person. But then when I spoke to Ms. Stewart, she said at least 2. So if we can't get 1 person, we must be able to get the other one. So that we could be able to have technical information supplied or answered, or any questions answered. I would believe that they're talking about people concerning planning. And in that set, I believe at least Mr. Scott, who's the actual building inspector, and I think the person who acted before while he was on leave, should be those two persons that we have liaised with the central housing, at least for now, until we could really and truly come up with our structure or our unit that will deal with the issue, which will include these technical persons, the city engineer at some point in it, as well as councillors to be part of that process, especially people from the City Works committee. I will continue to engage. I will continue to engage them to see the structure that we want to put in place to work with the central housing on this issue, on this single window process, and and who will have what and what role in this. So I will truly try to reach out to Ms. Stewart as well as the CEO to some extent, but I think this is really at the technical issue level. This is not. This is really and truly really the planner who met with us before to talk about this. They will try to figure out the exact solution that we need. So whenever we could get to the solution in relation to that, we could be able to take the process forward. But I would want to believe that a meeting at least should be had with Ms. Stewart and maybe members of the City Works committee. What do you think, TC?
Sir, before we get to that, you mentioned just now that you've identified two persons, or you're suggesting two persons,
Yes.
who will make contact with CHNP.
Yeah, but not really make contact. They will be
the
focal point persons in relation to plans
Yes, sir.
and so on. Yeah.
And you mentioned the building inspector supervisor and the building inspector.
Right.
Sir, why not the building inspector supervisor and the city engineer as the head of that department? He should know what is happening in that department.
He's going to be very much aware of all that is happening from the overall unit perspective. He will be very much involved because remember at the end of the day, he still have to will have to sign off. I don't even know how the thing works. If who signs off the plan? I know he's supposed to sign off as the engineer when it comes back, but you also signs off the plan. So you people will be very much involved in the process. What we are really and truly dealing with here, that's what they said. They said they don't need. When I spoke to them, they didn't tell me they want the city engineer. They said to me they want two focal point persons that give them information, that provide secondary information to them to confirm whatever they're doing. They know that the city engineer's job will still be, he will still have his role in the overall process, but he don't need to be part of the initial process. So I'm really seeking to have two focal points, and those persons who have always been in that or have that line with them has always been the building inspector, supervisor, whoever it is. I have always known that to be a relationship. Who was?
No, sir. Mr. Bencher makes contact with CHNPA. I believe that as the head of that department, he should be involved in the procedure because if anything should go wrong, words of the deputy mayor, the buck stops at the head. Who are we going to blame then? If incorrect information is shared with CHNPA, who are we going to blame? We're suggesting a supervisor and a junior staff. Sir, I humbly suggest that the supervisor be one of the persons and the head of that department also be one of those persons.
I hear you, TC, but this is for basic information to get the process going. I don't know that we should have the engineer. The engineer will be very much part of this because the engineer, likewise the unit or the other councils that we will name, will be very much part of the overall process. But this initial focal point, people to get information, they don't want no high-end person to deal with this. They want person who, and we need this information, we need that information, we need this to be able to build the file, to be able to have available for them to look at, where the city engineer will be part of that process to look at it. So I don't, having the city engineer at the bottom and the middle and the top obviously don't make the kind of sense. That's how I've been seeing it. But I hearing you, But what we will do, we will name these two persons for now, and then we will have that back and forth with them to decide if yes, the city engineer is needed at the lower end. But for now, what they're asking for is two focal point persons. They don't get this one. Shit. Things. TC, I noted I saw some vendors here earlier. I did have a discussion with them based on an attorney at law visited my office to speak. He did indicate that he's not in the capacity as an attorney at law visiting me. He said he was it wasn't in the capacity as a politician visiting me. He was in the capacity as an attorney at law and looking at these persons who have economic challenges. So I engaged him in that discussion. We spoke about a number of issues touching on concerning the Popeye establishment. I also saw some of the persons here. I don't know why they came, because if they had a discussion with me and I said I will raise these matters at the council, I have no idea why they would be here, protesting and stating different things. I don't want to state whatever. I usually keep it real. I usually keep it real whenever I have in my conversation with anyone, so that I could ensure that it's well balanced. So, listen. I'm having one meeting here, man. I might have to send out enough people from this meeting today, And it seems like the people on this side. Listen, please be quiet. You, please be quiet. Please. Yes. So we're talking about this issue in relation to this vending matter. We saw some of the persons came here just now. So I did indicate to the council at the time that we've been having a number of challenges based on these mandamuses that we've been having, and that the town clerk herself, while she's the town clerk, she has a mandate based on her statutory responsibility to deal with matters that is before the council. So, and if she violates that, she'll be in contempt. I also found out from the attorney at law who brought the matter, which is Mr. Pollard, that he's saying that the owner of the business or the person who runs the establishment is seeking to have these contempt proceedings in place. I asked the good attorney, Mr. Hughes, to contact his other colleague on this matter and to see how they could resolve this issue, and if there's any latitude that we could have, and that latitude, like we would have had in the municipal case, TC, we would have gotten some kind of arraignment. But in this case, in that case, they had they had a mandamus against us, but we asked for time to deal with whatever. In this case, what they're asking for is some kind of latitude in relation to people still being able to vend and move and so on and so forth. So I told them that I will raise it to the council and see how some people calling a million times in the sea and answering and they still keep calling. Yeah. No, no, no. um, so the fact of the issue is one where they I said to him that I said, man, you will have to use your good office, and I will see what I could do. And we could all try and have a meeting of the mind to allow for whatever. But whatever we do, we got to allow for some variance of this matter at the level of the High Court, because if we don't have that variance to grant the kind of latitude to deal with this issue, the order itself will have to stand. He also spoke to me about the street from a certain section to a certain section, if we could look at it and raise it so that we can have that whole section so that we don't have vehicle coming through, at least the 4 to 5 buses and stuff coming around there, probably to find another way to go wrong and so on and so forth. So those are things that we discussed to treat with this matter and to see how we could find some kind of common ground. I was actually taken by surprise when I saw some of the vendors here who actually was there coming with a different angle, especially when these matters was clearly discussed. And I don't play. I make sure I had the whole thing recorded, so I have evidence of what was discussed. All right. So just now, madam. So where we at on this issue is one that he will have to find a way. I could seek to talk to RLC. There's a discussion with Pollard and so on, and whatever we could come out of that, if it's amicable enough, then it will benefit or redound to the vendors. If nothing comes out of it, there's not much flexibility we will have, or I will have, or all councils and administration will have to deal with this issue. So that is where that stands. I'm not sure what their view will be on this, but before I hear from council, let me hear from the town clerk.
Just one question. Mr. Pollard, you said? The attorney?
Attorney, yeah.
Okay, so Mr. Pollard actually works
Andrew Pollard, yeah.
works within Mr. Nigel Hughes' office.
Well, it's a partner firm, so they're all related. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So I am a bit curious. So Mr. Nigel Hughes had no idea when Mr. Pollard was making contact with us, with me, to have the vendors removed when he appeared in court representing Popeyes for those vendors to be removed either?
Well, I don't know. I can't be able to answer those questions. But what I did indicate that I raised that issue at the level of the discussion we had. That I know is a member or a partner of the firm that he operates from. So he's well aware of it. So he will have to speak to his colleague and his partner to be able to do this, while I try to reach out to the owner and for us to find an amicable solution to this issue. So that's where we at with that. Madam?
May I smile? If my memory serves me right. Before
2017, is that? Okay.
Vendors are having them removed from the tarmac, Sabbath market. And in when we were trying to relocate the minibuses in Hatfield Street, if I can recall, an injunction came from some of those authorities along that same place where they lost anything in the street. And so I'm amazed that the street has been identified.
Oh, in the same street there? Oh, you mean along the same water street there? You're not sure? Okay, understand. I got you. Well, like I said, you see, what we have to remember at the end of the day, Madam Green, in this case, attorneys operate on behalf of their client. So whenever you read about attorney said, they always say, I write you, or I'm instructed on behalf of my client to do so. It's never the attorney. So maybe when an attorney chooses to wear different hats, this becomes a different issue. So I'm saying to you, the action itself is taken on behalf of or instructed on behalf of. Yes, Councillor.
This situation with vendors will not disappear overnight.
Mhm.
It's pursued for a long time. I had a few words with the vendors downstairs as well.
Mhm.
Listen to their plight. I mean, they have a issue, and they really do have an issue because they
Right.
have the right to
An economic issue.
an economic issue.
Right.
Some of them have personal issues, but that's a different story. But ultimately, we can kick this car can down the road and keep kicking it, and then another council in 5 years or 10 years deal with it. But that would not work. Ultimately, and I think I've mentioned this before, the law must be amended, changed, regulated, whatever to accommodate these people. At some point, that process has stopped. Because we have 1945 archaic laws still on the books talking about milk can and beat your blanket and a whole sort of nonsense. So maybe to accommodate, and this city is growing exponentially. I've said it 100 million times. Let's start the process. Maybe we will have to find a way to accommodate everyone and everybody make a living. Not everybody can be a lawyer after our mayor. So everybody has to earn a living. So let's maybe start.
If you don't want to tell you what I'm not gonna say it. Go ahead, go ahead.
So let's start thinking. Maybe the legal affairs committee could start looking at ways and means of maybe identifying 3 or 4 things in chapter 2801 that needs looking at that will address the current needs of our city and the city in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. So no, you see, just keep and asking for apply here, apply there.
Yeah. Well, I hear you, Councillor Councillor Dancing. And I must say to you that it's not like if, for want of speaking, that this wasn't addressed. I think it was even addressed in Madam Chase Green's tenure, because we were trying to work to change the laws. We had situations where we went as far as meetings. I remember going to meetings at Tow and wherever we went through a whole host of long set of things about the laws and the change of this and all kind of different things. But then those things would have reached a certain point, and then they had a change of government, and then the people changed, had a heart. So maybe if we could pick up on those things and bring it forth to this law reform commission that I see the current president has put in place, and so if we could, Madam TC, I think we could find that information, because we went to things. I'm gonna see if we went to those meetings and we had consultation with the local government people and all kind of thing to deal with this. But anyway, based on what Councillor Dancing said, we must at least table whatever we have that we discussed on this matter before, bring it up at the Legal Affairs Committee, sort that situation out, bring that information to the Law Reform Commission as to what challenges we have, so that we could have some corrective measures in place to allow people to coexist with the businesses as well as the vendors. I remember when I was first, we call it, affirmed by the Honorable, I should say, His Excellency in 2020, was it 2020? Or 2021, huh? Yes, 2021. His Excellency spoke about the archaic laws, the old laws, these laws that need to be thrown away and how we need to deal with it. But we're 2024. I guess maybe with this new law reform commission, many of those laws in relation to the city council will be addressed. So even if it's not even brought by us, it should be brought by the central government to be looked at and to be treated with. But it's our responsibility as a council to be able to deal with it, and we must make it a priority to treat with. Outside of that, I would like to also add that, and might want to hear from Madam Chase Green on this. I'm glad I didn't tell her to leave, so she gonna please, no, I all right. I make a comeback there now when you're trying to put me under pressure. Okay. You see, I the man who play malice, I the man. I quick for throwing things around. So, and that comes from my my where's called man? No, my where I am born. I'm a liberal. So I always got put a scale and weight like this. Sometimes I gone down here, sometimes I gone up here, and but I try to balance as much as I can. So the point I want to make here is in when we were dealing with the parking meter issue, we would have moved to see. So we're dealing with the parking meter issue. We had to put enough laws. We had to deal with matters of the streets, and because the streets are owned by the council, we had to fix the law within the bylaws itself so that we could use the street. We even had to add in some additional streets so that we could. So the fact of the matter is, the streets are our streets. We would have used it to rent vehicles and would have had to pay. So if we want to use to allow for vendors to operate, to go and to come, that is something, and that onus is on us. So maybe we'll have to while we're looking at the thing in let's call it the legal affair committee, to see if you could bring the municipal laws that were treating with the parking meter for us to review to see how those laws are consistent with us using it even for vending, and how the people could come and go, and how we could be able to charge them accordingly. But it's not about charging, it's about use. So there may be something there that we could address to correct this issue and to allow cause persons to be able to have a use, just like Council Don Singh said, even before we get to the point of fixing this thing at the law reform level. So, but I'm saying though, let it be brought to the committee TC that those laws or those municipal bylaws that we changed for the parking meter issue, let that also come. Let us look at it. No, it's in the law. It's in the system. Council Alfonso quickly, and then we.
That all the laws need to be amended to reflect the growing city and the growing financial needs of the citizens of Georgetown and Guyana as a whole. But in the meantime, a group of vendors was moved and are being prevented from earning a livelihood. Speaking to them downstairs, they did indicate that they're willing to vend in an orderly, clean manner. And so I wish to ask this council today if we could find an alternative in the meantime, where they can earn an orderly, organized living. Because talking to them, they have expenses, they have all these things that need to happen.
I'm glad that you're so compassionate about this.
No, but I don't appreciate the sarcasm. I don't appreciate the sarcasm.
No. Go ahead.
Well, so I wish to ask the council today that we find an alternative solution, albeit temporary, while we fix laws and deliberate and all.
With the bylaw? Oh, okay. Councilor Ford and Fraser. Oh, you finished?
I don't appreciate the sarcasm.
All right. I take it back, man. I big enough to take back anything. Me and them people will get striking for the thing. Go ahead. Yeah.
Mayor, council officers. First, I want to say that the town clerk must abide by the law. Secondly, I want to speak to, as far as the councillor, not some of us to be hypocritical. I want to use an example. There's an individual by the name of Sheldon Gravesand operating a building, a business on the Harvey Barker Road. And the individual, the business people are complaining in Water Street and so forth, that these vendors are hambugging their business, their smooth flow of business. An individual came and attached a so-called business to his fence, caused damage to his fence, joint feces, hold on. And he came to this council, he made complaints to the constabulary department, he went to the police, no help. And we would have heard a councillor here said he's a poor man, should leave him and not speak about that business in set alleyway. Why this businessman can't get justice like other business people? Is it because of the way he look? I don't know. Or is it because of his connections? I don't know.
But listen, I think you went off the track. We talking about vendors at Popeye.
I see vendors in the whole.
All right, you talking about, well then you got talking about that on any other business.
If the businesses, he's speaking about this, vendors. If those businesses if those businesses have the right to justice, right? If the market's paying a late, but then those rents should pay for the loss. That's my custom.
Nah, you can't equate it to whatever. Go ahead, Councillor Fraser.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor,
Yeah.
I did raise issues about the mandatories that are coming to us,
Yeah, I'll give Mr. Fraser a chance.
and I did in you know so. I know that we go if it's anything else. Yes, Mr. Mayor. I did raise on numerous occasions that, Mr. Mayor, we have to meet with the business people. These are people, the vendors I refer to here now, who are earning a daily bread on the streets. The carpets belong and the pavement belongs to the council. 2801 guide us in a direction. But we have to find a way, sir, to help the vendors and the business people to coexist. For more than one occasion, I beg that we invite the vendors, the business people in block, bring them right here.
But madam had a meeting with them, TC, me had a meeting with the business people. Yes, yes. We start the process. So yeah. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, sir. So more than one occasion, I beg for us to bring them here. For us to bring them in an organized manner, for us to bring them in blocks. We did identify, for instance, in Regent Street, for instance, from High Street to King Street, I invite them a day. Or from King Street to Camp Street, we invite them a day. Who come? Because the chambers of commerce will not suffice. The chambers of commerce will not do justice to all the vendors out there. Many of them may not be related to the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce. They are the people who are claiming that they are suffering because of the vendors. Those are the people we need to talk. We need to bring them here and ask them what is it they want. And I'm certain we are going to get a good deal from them because they have those vendors operating all the years in front of them. But if we don't do something now, tomorrow again we will find another mandamus coming to us from another store owner. We have to decide where we are going to start, Mr. Mayor. And Mr. Mayor, I believe that we must invite those business people to come and talk with us. Let us ask them what is it they want. And I don't believe they're going to say, just throw all the vendors away. So if they say they want 10, we try to see how best we can move the 10 and we get 90. They go to the court, we get nothing. They're out there, sir. They're all over the place. We need to try to appear to be human and want to protect them, while we also understand the plight of the business people, and that's why we need to bring them and talk, sir.
Yeah. Quickly,
I really want to see us as a council meeting with those businesses in particular. That's all I have to say. I agree.
All right. So TC, let us outside of let us try to engage these people as much as we can. Huh? They got rich businesses and poor businesses. Oh. All right. Okay. So TC, let me see what we could do with them and do as early as we can. I will continue to engage Mr. R.L. Singh and the counselors or the lawyers on these matters to see how we could bring some solution to the issue. TC, outside of that, I would like you to add this issue of for the finance committee, something. Let's start considering this industrial rate for the Houston area. But we know for sure the persons pay commercial rates, some of them, but we'll have to make that area a particular project because there's a lot of outstanding persons there that are not paying us, and we claiming that we got pay salaries and we getting it. Let us be able to treat with that area as a project. Bring it at the next. We know we talked about it before, but let us bring it to the next finance committee as a matter, as an agenda item, for for industrial rate, but we will pursue our commercial rates in the meantime while we treat with it the commercial people who owe us there. You also have details there. I'll be talking from the area from Public Road to the Heroes Highway and from Wiscala Place, Caneview Avenue, probably go back to Rome or wherever it is. There are plans with you. There are also transports, and there's a list that Houston would have provided. You could bring that to the members of the committee. I also have a copy because they would have shared it, or I think with you, and you think you shared it with me. So I have that already in my possession, but let others also have it, and let us start treating with those persons and getting the valuation for rating purposes to do their job, and for those persons to come in and pay us their true taxes, because there are lands there that is used for, let's call it, lay down yards, which can be land only. There are also lands that have buildings on them that build up acres and acres of property. If you see the prices that people buy them property for, so they must be paying us our fair share. So you'll treat with that issue. TC, you could. I think there's you'll raise the matter with the cricket carnival, or you want me to raise it? Okay. I don't know if I ain't seeing this man here. We got. I really want to talk about it quickly, but anyway, the cricket carnival having some events. They're also gonna have this cricket carnival thing along the streets on the 29th of September, which happened to be a very important day for me. So they're gonna be having carnival in the days. I'm gonna be having a carnival myself. So they're gonna be I think they have some arrangement with us where they lodge $1 million or for a contract that we're supposed to, but we ain't signed the contract yet. All right. So I did indicate I will speak to them and to see if they could up that thing to a bit more so that we could cover the whole event. They're committed to paying any other thing based on the contract and based on the arrangement. I feel that, in support of the event, we should proceed. Yeah. I know the money part. We ain't sure yet because remember, Carnival don't really get the kind of numbers. They agree that we don't get the kind of numbers, but they say if there's any fall short of it, they will honor it. As well as if there's let's call it again, the sales. If it's honor that there's more sales on based on whatever, and there's a division of the house where you actually share the thing, I think all that's part of the arrangement. But if there's a fall short, they will honor the obligation. So I think in good faith, we should proceed. Huh? Yes, if you want to say something else, it, and if Kopla want to speak to it, fine. Quickly, TC, so we could proceed.
But just a reminder, today is the 23rd, and the carnival is on the 29th.
Yeah. So we mean selling nothing yet?
We couldn't sell one. We haven't have a signed contract.
So the people were coming to pay. People were coming to pay.
We couldn't.
No, no. They advertising the event. They tell me they advertise. They're doing all the advertisement. Our job is to sell the spots. They tell me that. They said they're doing all the advertisement.
Yes, and they did start advertising the sale of spots.
But people come for pay.
Our process has not been completed. The round robin that was done to get a decision of the council on the payment of the money to move forward. Sir, you know that you said that you weren't going to sign it because
I wasn't here. I spoke to them and then they were to get back to me. And
yes,
then, yeah.
And it was left
like that. Today is Monday. This event is on Saturday.
Sunday.
It's on Sunday. Sir, it's very difficult for admin to now go buy paint, mark spots, sell the spots.
So y'all mark the spots in the mark already?
No, sir. No, sir.
I started seeing the spots mark.
I think if you instruct now, and the treasurer who has to release the money to buy pay to go ahead, officers can go
tomorrow.
Start marking spots while it's There's the old mop that you have had from Match, which can be used. You're not going to sell all the stuff. It's a smaller event, but you're going to sell
The key spots. Yeah. Which is around the bend and thing. So TC, you know, mark the whole road currently. Mark the key spots where people can want. You deal with that, and then you keep extending further wherever. Let us proceed down, TC. Yes, you want to say something?
I'm a member of the social workers. What is your experience? Last time I was on the air. We would have put together, we would have reviewed contracts that was provided to us, so we would have made a recommendation. I'd like to know what occurred with that.
So a round robin was done in order to have a decision of the council based on the recommendation coming out of the Social Development Committee. And that round robin is what was not signed. So we couldn't. It wasn't signed because sent to the mayor said that he was not going to sign it because he wanted to have more discussions with Kids and Jams in order to get more money.
What we do as councillors, you don't put the mayor sign and when they go on, you get 20 councillors signing the It's official.
20 is one third, no? Yeah. All right. Okay. So TC, in this instance, what we want to do is to have the stuff. We want to proceed with it. And let the gentlemen, unless they want to, if they want to cancel the event, but I see the advertising it. All right. So TC, you'll proceed. From tomorrow, I'm sure you could mark out the key spots and let the people start. Yeah. Yes, well, the contract will be signed. The contract will be signed. That's what we say here now. We accept that they're paying $1 million, whatever, and we're moving ahead with the arrangements. So TC, you'll proceed. All right? And see how fast we could act on this. I know Mr. Rollins and the team could put system. Rollins, yourself.
They're not in agreement for the late because of the lateness of.
But people, anybody come for pay? Nobody didn't come for pay. TC, we'll proceed. Mr. Rollins, we'll move on. TC, continue onwards with whatever you have to add.
Sir, for my announcements, I received excuses from Councillor Pagu, Councillor Mohammed, Councillor David, Councillor Caesar, and Councillor Ashby. Councillor Bipat.
Add Councillor Garvey for me. I forgot to say it. Yeah.
Councillor Bipat asked to leave at 5:30, and Councillor Sortum asked to leave at 5:50. Sir, just an update for the council, and I need a decision as well. And former staff, Ms. Vanessa Simon Brown. Sorry you're aware of that matter. It has been ongoing for more than a year now. The last time we met in court, the gentleman decided that in order to end that matter, he's requesting the council to pay him $8 million.
Listen. Who's our attorney in this matter?
It is Miss Trevon Weeks.
Miss Weeks?
Yes.
Listen. Hey, TC, I know you have been treating with a number of matters of identifying these people. That I'm not getting I'm not getting the option of us working this thing through, because I find Trevor Weeks into hot. I am, to be honest with you, this is the second time a matter with some negotiation and seeing torn up, and the people that got from Flour Mill, they're calling me and a whole set of things. And we give her whatever information she needs. But still, for Milan, who's still calling me, and the lawyer, which is in this case Jonas and who else, I'm too comfortable. So I think originally we have always had that scenario where you refer those matters and we discuss them and we decide who's the attorney. I'm not seeing that coming
Sir,
at
please.
my end.
We haven't had
We
any
have had
new
much.
matters
Okay,
in a
okay.
while. But
Uh,
sir, to
yes.
state what you just said, sir, it would be, it's not correct. Because when this matter was first brought upon the council, sir, I was on leave.
Yeah, I remember.
That matter was actually being heard in court, and there was no appearances from our part. Miss Vanessa Simon Brown, Mr.
We didn't appoint this lady for to act.
No, sir. They were not.
So how she became the attorney?
Eventually, as a matter of fact, in January of this year, sir,
Uh,
the court sent out an order that the three staff must turn up with an attorney.
right.
And that is when she was actually involved, even though she was assigned to that matter before. She said that she was trying to make contact with Miss Simon Brown, and Miss Simon Brown was not giving her the required information. I think this was late last
Which
year.
is a normal thing with her.
I think it was like in November of last year, when she was actually requesting information to make representation, but she was not getting anything. As a result of that, she couldn't appear. And Miss Vanessa Simon Brown, Mr. Stephen King, and Mr. Williams were not appearing in these matters either. So default judgment was granted in their absence.
Default.
Yes, sir. So when we appeared earlier this year, what the judge explained is that the damage has already been done. It is just to determine a cost. So
But what damage? What the damage you're talking about? What was the issue? Something to do with some lockup for the man sit on the bench or something like that.
Start is something to the effect whereby the clerk went into Mrs. Vanessa Simon Brown's office to serve a document that I was told was supposed to be for the counselors. And according to her, she explained that it should go to the mayor because we don't collect documents for counselors. We don't have an office there. And the clerk decided that he would just throw it on her desk. And he left. Something to that effect. There was some back and forth within the office that only the two of them knew about. But the clerk apparently or allegedly stormed out of the office and she asked Mr. King
to arrest him.
Stop him from leaving the office, and he was eventually arrested, then released.
So we want 8 million for throwing the thing on the thing. So, madam, yeah.
Brought specifically where they identify individuals in the private capacity.
Well, in this case, I know for sure she was acting as the town clerk.
What the matter that was brought,
Oh, you want to know what the action said?
what does the action say?
If it's in her capacity or in a personal capacity.
It's continuous. When one town clerk means that
Right.
officers, if they were individuals that were placed in action.
I can't tell you. She might be.
Sir, the three staff are being sued in their personal capacity. It was mentioned, it was shared with the council before they.
So if she's not, the man bring this against the town clerk and mayor
The town
councillors.
clerk was eventually added as a party when I came out.
Oh.
But there's no claim against the town.
So this 8 million is against them now.
Yes.
The only thing we are doing is supplying them with an attorney to represent the matter. Right. But other than that, we don't have any damages that can come against us because it's not against us directly. But at the end of the day, we must represent the matter, give them representation. So if that's the case, then we continue to give them. But if we feel that the lawyer is not adequate enough, but that's something else.
Sir, it's not a matter of the law.
Okay,
the
so
lawyer
the-
couldn't do anything. She wasn't representing.
So now the lawyer got all the facts.
The lawyer has the facts now, but there's nothing much that she
No,
can
it didn't finish yet.
There's default judgment that was already
Default
granted.
judgment, if default judgment is not the total sum.
Damage was already done. That has already been established. It's just to determine the cost.
So you're saying the default judgment of 8 million was granted?
No, not 8 million.
right.
The damage.
Okay.
Damages. That has
For not going to court. For not going to court.
No, the claims
Mhm.
by the clerk that he was harassed
Mhm.
and wrongful imprisonment.
So there's a cost for that. And they grant that already.
They haven't granted the cost. The judge is giving us the opportunity
To represent.
decide on a fixed amount.
No, we got to challenge it. We can't decide and fix it.
Well,
The lawyer got to challenge it.
No,
but we give them a lawyer to represent the matter.
that was a sidebar between the two attorneys where the attorney representing the clerk is requesting $8 million.
Who represented Jonas?
It wasn't Jonas.
It was Jonas clerk.
Clerk, but
Yes.
I can't remember the name of the attorney who actually appeared. But it's
No.
history.
Listen, let me continue to fight this matter. Because I don't believe the people should pay or nobody should pay. This is a matter for an apology, nothing else. We don't know that. No, the matter, this thing just, no, they never decided, on the thing yet. She said default. A default means they didn't turn up. And based on they didn't turn up, right. We are not taking any responsibility. We challenge the issue. And then when we challenge it, we could appeal it.
And when we're going to look at the list of lawyers, at least every 2 years we used to review our list of lawyers. I don't even know who are the lawyers that we have.
But we can name, huh?
And then
There's a number of attorneys that we got, and we can determine by the next statutory how much other people are willing to work for the council. I think there's some other attorneys. We'll name them, and we'll choose one from them. In this case, we asking the attorney who was Miss was it Weeks to challenge the issue to the judgment that they're talking about. Let us continue to challenge it, and if we have to appeal the matter, we'll appeal it.
So the council.
We paying. The people shouldn't pay. Nobody shouldn't pay. This is a matter that they should accept an apology. Both parties, yes, both parties were verbal. So I don't know where you coming with some fancy bread. What do you think this council got money to give away? Yeah, then things have been broke. Listen, pledge your property and all of it, get it. You sell the rest? All right. Huh? Yeah. We done the TC got something to say.
Two other matters. Sorry, I had a discussion with you before.
With who?
In relation to the parking area for the embassy of Qatar.
Yeah.
This matter was discussed at the last City Works Committee meeting, and I believe that it was approved in principle.
Yeah.
But I've been contacted by the embassy asking about this approval. So, sir,
In good faith, TC, let the people get it.
in addition to that, sir, the other matter that I've been contacted about is a request by ExxonMobil to improve the access road at the Georgetown International Academy. I believe this too has been approved at the level of the City Works Committee.
So please proceed, because they will have to wait till next month to get a letter.
Sir, that is all of my announcements.
TC, I'm not sure if we had a talk about it, but this, I think we are so clear, but maybe we'll have to wait till next month to flesh it out, which is the Miss Carly building, the administration building. Left it for next month then. Because what we needed was an estimate from the engineers. So at least let me get that done in the interim by the time we reach next month so we can make a decision. Man, relax, man. We got to start with, man, relax, man. We might get a windfall somewhere, big man. Now win seed like you, but we now win fall. So TC, let us in the interim look at the cost because I believe the town clerk office, the treasurer office, and so on would want a building to use. It's for a while now, at least 2 floors. So let the engineer who's gonna do them quantities. Right. So let us let me direct him to produce the quantities for the first 2 floors to finish it to completion. While we wait till next month to get to the point of when we're gonna look at the matter. So when we have that before us, we can start going to tender for this matter. All right. All right. You finished that, TC? All right.
Before we go on to next thing, um, there are the vendors still downstairs, bowing not to be
Until what?
meeting. So that could be
So you want me to tell them something?
I suggest we invite one or two in the chamber
And then?
and let them know how we feel and how we're dealing or treating with the matter. When we think something, you can't let them, they got money down there, but you can't let them sit down there for 3 hours.
No, but we could also this is a live, you know. They could see what we say on this live. They ain't got the capacity.
Unless you want to send some data.
Yeah, I could speak to them and tell them something quickly and done. If you want me to. So I will ask for who else? Okay.
Thank you.
I'll ask for a break so that the deputy takes over the seat, and for me to have an opportunity to go and engage these vendors while I also take a bathroom break as well to treat with some other issues.
Go speak with vendors or just an ordinary ask a break to go to the bathroom and then go.
And do that an unofficial break.
I think we should move a motion to ask that you step out to have a discussion with the vendors who are protesting outside.
So you want a whole motion for that? I think go in the toilet and do that. But I'm just teasing. All right.
Recorded.
All right. All right. I'll ask for a motion to, but I don't want to suspend anything here. I just want a motion. I just want a motion so that I can go and do that. Record it. Okay. All right. All right. So I seeking a motion to go and address the vendors who are here um, based on a number of concerns that they had. So I'm asking for official break from the council's meeting to go and address those matters to explain to them what we would have discussed and where we stand on this issue. Those in favor of that? No. No. But Art, you second it, Art. I move, you second. Those in favor? All right. And then I ask the deputy to take the seat in my stead.
Huh?
I think you have the report. Uh, 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 uh. 60. We are at the reports now. Oh yeah. We are now at responsive page 1730. Decision taken. 1730. 17. Yeah, Councillor Hines. Number,
because you can't get the kids sit down here for
number,
2.5, 3 hours. So I asked for a break and the mayor will come down and we can see what we can work out. He can explain what we discussed.
I'm not with you, don't stress. I don't think I'm not just a mix, man. I never rock my fucking. Just stress. That gives you nothing. If I was not a rock man, how many mix? I never fucking straight to rock man, just straight rock man. They got nothing. We fought mother queen, man. It's terrible. You didn't advocate for this. Never allowed black man. So I'm telling you, so if this is your constitution, you need to advocate. What? Mi Vending, don't kill one yard. Mi Vending. More help than I'm black. Black will nothing. Black will don't like take it. Alright, we don't do race on this one. I do a race. Got this one the race is. He's a racist, no one there. This one is so. Look at that. The one you wear dress. I don't know we pushing cameras. Good thing I don't sell. I sell fox, I don't sell. I sell fox to kill them. Hey man, I don't want to sell. You want to sell those? That question is there. We don't go by one.
1732.
When you telling people how to conduct the business,
1733.
Number of councils and unions from both sides agree that we should find real solutions or solutions to cause you guys to economically benefit from your vending. We believe that vending is not something that vending is a part of your life, part of your living, part of how you guys earn, part of how you feed your children, how you sell them to school and all that. So we want you guys to continue to do that and to also benefit from such vending. But it must happen in a very constructive manner. We know of this particular challenge we have where this matter is a very sensitive one. It's a case where the town clerk, while as you say, she was going on as you say, it's a very delicate one that she's bound by the council.
So, and bound by the court to keep it. Yes, I was saying. So I see, we see this very, very clear. You can put it down.
She's bound by the court to deal with case here, the lawyer brought the matter. We also had a lawyer in the particular matter. They would have to go to the court and explain to the court, like we did with the municipal issue, to come up with a basis of this thing. So that it's very hard to allow for you guys to sell and also to use this space.
Yeah, this dancing also suggested, and some other councils also spoke about us having some other additional alternative space, which we don't know where we can find it from. So what we gotta do is to be able to find a way for you guys to use the road and move away and also to keep it in. So that is something that I'm working. Yeah, but that's why I'm working with Nigel, who has raised this particular matter with a partner in his form to deal with this issue, who represents the RL Singh people.
Right.
And it's from us to have a common solution to benefit you guys. Because at the end of the day, if those lawyers didn't bring the matter to the court, we wouldn't be just with you. So it's the case they brought the matter to the court, so we have to abide by the strict code, which remember is a contempt of court proceedings. If the concur does not do it, and I said this to her many times, that is the contempt of court issue is one where it's not you are operating on behalf of the council. So you're not the council. It's if the contempt of court can come against all of you as councillors. All right. So if you think
He's the first one get jail.
yeah, lock up all of it. So we willing for going to take a lock up for you guys, so to speak.
Yeah.
So it's not you, the town club. It's you, the town club, on behalf of the council. So the whole council is lock up with all of it. Who are the stakeholders or who was put here by the people. So we want to sort that situation out. But that will start, you know, through discussion, through a variant of the actual order, where both sides will go with a plan back to the court and say, we want to bear this thing like this, allow these people this, don't block the entrance, do this, operate from this time to the time and so on. Because at the end of the day, the road is our road. The road is the property of the council. The road is the road is the property of the state. And that when we did the parking meter thing, I said all up, say just now. When we did the parking meter gave us as a municipal um, elected body, the responsibility is how we could use the road. If we use it for rent car, we could use it for allow you guys to operate and move on home. So we find out ways and means to treat with this issue. We'll ask for a general revision and let good sense prevail to you.
Yeah. So if I may,
any other council wants to say something?
yeah, I just quickly want to say, I let them know that we also discussed asking the businessmen. We'll ask them to come in and have discussions with them, where everybody, on a balance can coexist, and get along. I mean, especially with these 3 months of Christmas coming up.
Yes.
Everybody deserves a living. Everybody has to make a living. Right. As you said, in a uniform and regulated fashion, that could be very agreed on. And as I said earlier, right, something uniform that finally get it right after a long time of just everybody working haphazard. And I wanted to let them know as well that we've promised, or we've decided to restart the issue of changing this law or regulating or amending it. It will take it's a long process.
That will take some time.
That will take some time.
We want some real solutions.
You have the chance to earn and live.
Right.
Yes.
So we can deal with that. We're gonna talk to we will continue having the conversation with Nigel. We'll continue having a conversation with his other partner, Mr. Andrew Pollard. And we'll continue having a conversation with Mr. R.L. Singh.
Yes.
With our lawyers and the town clerk and everybody else. So whatever we decide on, the town clerk will bind it to this to allow you guys to operate. And we also, as you said, we're also thinking about that area. We also plan to meet other businesses before other people are affected, so we can sort this problem out, so we don't have these problems heading into Christmas where people got to. I hear they got something. They're gonna raise the matter upstage just now. I don't know. It's not moving. I know it's about having you guys on the umbrellas. I know that is what decision we made.
And non-permanent structure.
Not them thing being there. A whole set of things build up. We want to have. We want to have. Right. So we're gonna talk about it just now upstairs back to see what's going on with that decision.
Right.
So that we can look at it, and if it actually stated something where we talk about total removal, we can change it right now. We have the full support of everybody in relation to this matter, so that you guys can have a look. All right. Yes. So anybody else want to say something? We're gonna fix something up here right now.
Let's see what we can do.
You think? But like I tell you, we are. What we have to do is that we have to talk with
the business owners.
Business owners.
Who brought in the port matters to us.
It's up to Wednesday, no? That's what I'm saying. Huh?
You see, if we were to say go ahead, that we would be in defiance of the court and then in trouble as well.
In a spot. Remember now, this man recording everything I say in here. So I gotta be very careful because before the judge sent for me. No one sent for me.
Coming to
we gotta fix the matter with the FC thing.
Just have it no.
We'll fix it now. Umbrellas and so on. We don't know about this whole big set thing. But we know that we want to keep the place clean and value the place.
Yeah.
We're gonna fix it up.
All right. Yeah. So Brooks, I like the council. Brooks. Jackie Sachs. Check his socks.
The most difficult living is here. So we can walk up one and get people involved. And once again, I'm making a appeal for a list with the address and the possible contact numbers.
Come. So, general notice to all stallholders, previous stallholders of City Market, or please attend the meeting or something. So you get all of them together in the room and you let them know that this is what we go forward. And we would like to open the market. We would like to clear would like to have, reopen up your store because somebody may not after would have gone into some other business or the other and move forward from there. But if you put in there, report, I don't even put report or do station or you put
I will agree, Councillor Hines.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to submit something here. I am not pleased. I'm not pleased with what has occurred. We had already set 2 weeks before now for the opening of this month. First thing I want to see. At one of our meetings of the committee, and I see the decisions that were made here. Madam Chair, to get these things going, and even in notice, I concur with what my colleague Mr. Dyer just said. That notice is big. Nobody, you in your right, I suggested, and Mr. Lovin agreed with me, that to get everything up and going for the 1st of October, we need to collaborate with the solid waste department and the engineering department. There was some civil works done up to the point to where we are right now. But I suggested, which he agreed, that there would be a collaboration with these 3 heads of department to make sure that the other things, to make sure that the work, that the market is ready to be done. For example, you see the market of Fraser? The place is still as before, very untidy, up to now. How could we open? We got this question marks from some of the stallholders.
Existing stallholders. Right.
Madam, before we get there, the physical environment of the market got to be ready.
It doesn't speak completion. It doesn't speak
It has to be ready, and that has not been done. And I would like to know, because I don't know that Mr. Lovell is on leave. If Mr. Lovell is on leave, Mr. Barney is going. We try to put on this thing for too long. Could you engage Mr. Narayan or Mr. Wallet and the engineer department to have that place, what I call environmentally ready for the people that are going to come here to work? The toilet thing, them got to be fixed. All those things. We're not ready to open up us afterwards.